that when you try to change people, that's when it gets frustrating. Don't try to make a Republican more liberal or a liberal more conservative. You women out there date the biker guy, stays up late at night, the rock star. That's who you marry. Don't try to change him. Then you'll get frustrated. And all you guys out there, the pretty girl, you flirted. Other guys will. That's the downside. Don't try to change the world. When you try to change people, that's when it gets frustrating. That's when you and I get angry. Get into a relationship with people and understand this is what they are. This is what they are. Pittsburgh Steelers last night, this is what they are. They win and they drive you nuts. They tie and they drive you nuts. And they lose and they drive you nuts. Big Ben once again saved the Steelers. Dysfunctional, 13 penalties, over 150 yards in penalties. The defense gave up over 450 yards to Ryan Fitzpatrick. They pinned Tampa at the one at one point and got a penalty because a player was yelling with a ref. And here's Big Ben to essentially save the game because this now is what they are, Ben saving the dysfunctional mess known as Pittsburgh. They can build a 20-point lead and they can lose a 20-point lead. They have the most penalties through 3 games in 2 decades in the NFL. That's who they are. Super talented. And if you can't spot it, I can't help you. If you don't think this team, and a lot of it goes on Mike Tomlin, you got players barking at the refs as you're pinning them deep at the one. You got to be kidding me. And by the way, New England, their brand is smart and efficient. Pittsburgh's talented and dysfunctional. And if they're still driving you crazy, when I turned in that game last night, I got home, my wife's like, anybody good on Monday Night Football? I said, oh, it's the Steelers. They're always fascinating. They are the roller coaster ride of the NFL. They're fun. They're exhilarating, and when you get off it, you're a little sick to your stomach. And just come to terms with it. It's not going to be easy. They're going to give you a dozen penalties a game. They got players squawking at people. Sometimes they don't look well coached. I mean, just think of what they offer you that nobody else does. Mike Tomlin is the best soundbite in the league, and Antonio Brown is the best perimeter player in the league. And Big Ben is the best flag football quarterback, make it up as you go, quarterback in the league. And they have the most penalties in the league. And they have the most outspoken players in the league. And they're the only team that has a player off to the side barking with officials as you pin Tampa at the one in the league. This is what they are. In the last 10 games for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 9 have been decided, mostly because of their dysfunction and their talent, by 5 points or less. Now, why does that matter? Because some of those have been against good teams. And then some of those have been against winless Cleveland and the Brett Hundley Packers. But Jacksonville was a 1-point game, and playoff Kansas City was a 1-point game, and New England was a 5-point game, and this is what they are. And when you start trying to make a conservative liberal and a liberal more conservative, you get frustrated. You yell and scream, people are what they are, and the sooner you can come to terms with it and accept people and teams and coaches and players for what they are. Look at this. Since 1950, this is funny, the most penalties through 3 games, and the Steelers are one of the 4 most penalized teams. Last night, that's exactly what I expected. My wife asked, were you going to watch the game? I'm like, oh, God, yes. They tie fun, they lose fun, and they win fun. And that was terrific, wildly entertaining television. There are 2 teams, one that has been reported. The Jets are interested. I believe so are the Colts. Because I think in both instances, the teams desperately need weapons. The Jets really have one of the league's worst running back, tight end, wide receiver situations and a bad O-line with a rookie quarterback. Outside of T.Y. Hilton, Andrew Luck did not have much to work with. He just doesn't. Their defense is actually playing well. So it's interesting, and I read this quote on why the Jets may want to wait to get Le'Veon Bell. This is from CBSSports.com. The writer says, a trade would be complicated because he'd be nothing more than a 1-year rental. It might make more sense for the Jets to wait and target him in the offseason when he becomes a free agent. Really, let's just sit back and wait. Here's something that's happening all over the world. Aggressive wins in politics, Donald Trump. Aggressive wins in business, Amazon. And aggressive wins in life. You got to ask the pretty girl out first. And aggressive is winning in sports. Who's aggressive in the NBA? The Warriors. They won a title. Let's get better, Kevin Durant. We won another title. Let's get better, Boogie Cousins. The Rockets. Let's go get Chris Paul. Let's go get Carmelo Anthony. The LA Rams. We've already got Aaron Donald. Let's go pay for Ndamukong Suh, Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Sam Shields. Let's get Todd Gurley's contract wrapped up a year early. Brandon Cooks. We already have good receivers. Let's get another. By the way, the Boston Red Sox, David Price, J.D. Martinez, Chris Sale. I'm not saying nice guys finish last, but they generally finish third in the AFC East. You may not finish last, but aggressive is winning in politics. It's winning in business. Yeah, Facebook gets pushback. Yeah, Trump gets pushback. Aggressive's winning. We have a fragmented world, a million choices. The aggressive companies, the aggressive people, the aggressive teams are winning. Okay, here's 3 reasons why the Jets should go after Le'Veon Bell. They don't have any offensive weapons right now. Pro Football Focus rates their offensive line, their running backs, their tight ends, and wide receivers among the worst. They have a ton of cap space. They could use a great running back, pass rusher, corner. They don't pay Sam Darnold anything. And third is, he'd also be their best receiver. Dude had 85 catches last year. So, this idea that you can sit back and wait, it makes no sense at all. The Colts want him, and they're going to offer something, and the Jets are going to sit back. You're not paying Sam Darnold for the next 3 to 4 years. This is what the Eagles did. This is what the Rams did. When you're not paying your starting quarterback, you go all in on assets. And it's a position of need. You have a ton of cap space. You've already got your defense mostly solved. Jets have a good defense. Jets have good special teams. They have no weapons. By the way, Kansas City was aggressive 2 years ago. They traded up to get Patrick Mahomes. How's that working out for them? Buffalo this past year got picks, gave up picks, traded up to get quarterback Josh Allen. Did you watch this weekend? Looks like they got their franchise quarterback. So if you're going to, listen, I'm not saying education doesn't matter. I'm not saying always be hyper-aggressive. But if you look at what's happening in politics, in business, in life, and in sports over the last 4 or 5 years, if you got the money, spend it. Because it creates a momentum. Players now want to play for the Warriors and the Rockets and the Rams and the Eagles and the Red Sox. The Jets out there are going, hey, Le'Veon Bell, we take care of stars here. Oh, maybe that left tackle who's on the fence is like, oh, wait a minute. I can block for Le'Veon Bell and the free agent center on the market. Oh, really? I like the Sam Darnold. And I got Le'Veon Bell in that defense? I mean, Brady's not going to play forever. Create momentum, and you do that by being aggressive. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.